Imagine this. One wrong step at the airport, one small gap in the crowd, and the world could change forever. But that night, from Incheon, through Dubai Transit, all the way to Lisbon, there was one man standing without camera flashes, without applause, yet carrying the weight of BTS's safety on his shoulders. Welcome to Jikook Lover. Before we go any further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because this story is not just about a journey. It's about a sacrifice that has never been fully revealed. Who is Mr. Lee, really? And why do internal staff call this trip the most dangerous mission in BTS history? Stay right here, because what you're about to hear may completely change how you see Jikook's safety forever. In the global entertainment world, the names Jungkook and Jimin are always surrounded by light, cheers, and endless love. Yet very few people ever speak about the shadows that walk half a step behind them. Shadows that are not allowed to get tired, not allowed to hesitate, not allowed to fail. And at the center of those shadows stands a figure whose name rarely appears in headlines, but is deeply respected within elite security circles, Mr. Lee. The journey from Incheon International Airport to Lisbon, Portugal, was never just an ordinary international flight. It was a high-risk passage, filled with calculations, tension, and invisible threats. In the world of top-tier artist security, this route is considered a red zone. Long transit hours, multiple jurisdictions, extremely crowded international hubs, and BTS's unmatched global attention turned this journey into one of the most complex operations in recent years. And at the heart of it all, Mr. Lee took full responsibility as the leader of the bodyguard team. His role was not limited to protecting Jikook and the other BTS members physically. He was guarding their emotional stability, controlling the rhythm of their movement, and even regulating their breathing in the middle of overwhelming global attention. At Incheon, long before dawn broke, Mr. Lee was already on site. He did not stand out. He blended into the flow of the airport. Every corner was mapped. Every exit counted. Every possible threat anticipated. When Jungkook and Jimin finally stepped out, the world saw smiles. What the world did not see was how Mr. Lee adjusted his walking distance, shifted the team's formation, and recalculated positions within seconds when the crowd moved unpredictably. Many fans later asked why the formation looked different that day, why Jikook appeared more closed off, why the spacing between members changed at certain points. The answer lies in one rapid decision made by Mr. Lee, reportedly in less than 3 seconds, when one exit route was suddenly deemed unsafe. The Dubai Transit became a quieter chapter, but one far more dangerous. An international hub with intense traffic, VIP zones directly bordering public areas, and constant movement of global figures turned every minute into a strategic chess game. Here, Mr. Lee's role shifted from physical shield to emotional anchor. Jimin is known to be deeply sensitive to the energy around him. Jungkook, though outwardly calm, has a sharp instinct for changes in atmosphere. Mr. Lee understood this. He did not simply walk ahead of them. He communicated through subtle, nonverbal signals, a slight change in posture, gentle touch on the shoulder, a shift in body angle, each one silently delivering the same message: "You're safe. Follow me." There were no raised voices, no visible panic. And that is exactly what made his dedication extraordinary. The best security is the kind you never feel. And throughout that long transit, not a single BTS member appeared shaken or unsettled. When the plane finally touched down in Lisbon, many assumed the danger was over. In reality, it had only changed shape. Lisbon Airport is known for unpredictable crowd dynamics. Local fans, international travelers, and foreign media often collide in emotionally charged spaces. It was here that Mr. Lee made a move later praised by security professionals as a golden decision. Instead of choosing the fastest route, he chose the longest one. He sacrificed time for space, comfort for safety. That decision caused some fans to wonder why BTS seemed to disappear for several extra minutes. What they didn't know was that a potential chaos had been neutralized before it ever had the chance to erupt. Perhaps the most touching detail was how Mr. Lee remained fully alert even after the cameras were gone. When Jungkook briefly glanced back and Jimin slowed his steps, many assumed it was just a small, casual interaction. According to staff, it was actually the final signal from Mr. Lee. The journey was over, but vigilance was not. This level of dedication is rarely discussed because it doesn't look dramatic on screen. It doesn't go viral in short clips. Yet without it, the world might not be seeing Jikook smile as peacefully as they do today. And now, questions are spreading rapidly among global fans. If this journey was considered one of the most dangerous, what exactly was prevented from happening? And did Mr. Lee just protect BTS from something the world was never meant to know? What makes Mr. Lee different from ordinary bodyguards is not his size, his speed, or even his experience. It is his silence. A silence built from years of learning when to move, when not to move, and most importantly, when to disappear so completely that the artist never feels watched, yet is always protected. During this particular journey, sources close to the security team revealed that Mr. Lee barely slept. From Incheon to Dubai, from Dubai to Lisbon, his rest was measured in minutes, not hours. While others rotated shifts, he remained present. Not because he didn't trust his team, but because leadership, to him, meant responsibility without pause. Inside the aircraft, while Jikook and the members appeared relaxed, chatting softly or resting, Mr. Lee's attention never drifted. Every movement in the aisle, every unfamiliar face, every sudden sound was processed instantly. He positioned himself not for comfort, but for control. Always angled, always ready. Some fans noticed how Jungkook subtly adjusted his posture mid-flight, leaning slightly toward Jimin. To the public, it looked like a quiet, affectionate moment. Behind the scenes, it was a response to a subtle shift in cabin energy, one that Mr. Lee had already identified and neutralized before it ever became a concern. This is the kind of protection that never makes headlines. Because when done perfectly, nothing happens. There is a heavy burden that comes with elite-level security, knowing things you can never explain. During the Dubai transit, Mr. Lee reportedly received multiple real-time updates from local security coordinators. None of them ever reached Jikook, and that was intentional. According to insiders, at least 2 potential vulnerabilities were identified in the original transit plan. Both were resolved through route changes and timing adjustments. No alarms, no delays that would raise suspicion, just quiet redirection. Fans later speculated why the group's path through the terminal felt unusually fluid, almost too smooth for such a crowded airport. What they didn't see was the invisible wall Mr. Lee built around him, using timing, spacing, and psychological crowd management rather than force. At one point, a staff member reportedly whispered, "This doesn't feel real." Mr. Lee's response was simple. That's the goal. How Mr. Lee protects more than bodies. Security experts often emphasize physical barriers, formations, and response tactics. But those who work with Jikook understand something deeper. Their emotional state is part of their safety. Jimin has always been expressive, deeply empathetic, and emotionally open. Jungkook, while resilient, absorbs the atmosphere around him like a mirror. Mr. Lee understands this dynamic better than most. Throughout the journey, he deliberately adjusted walking pace based on Jimin's breathing. When Jungkook's focus sharpened too intensely, Mr. Lee would subtly slow the group, allowing tension to dissipate naturally. These are not standard protocols. They are learned through trust. Trust built over years. One staff member described it this way: Mr. Lee doesn't guard them like assets. He guards them like people. There is one moment from the Lisbon arrival that never appeared online. No fan footage. No press photos. Yet it has quietly circulated among those who were present. As the group moved through a secured corridor, Jungkook reportedly stopped walking for half a second. Not enough for panic. Just enough to notice. Mr. Lee immediately turned, not aggressively, not urgently, but with a calm that communicated authority. Nothing happened. And that was the miracle. Later, Jungkook nodded once. A small gesture. Jimin followed suit without a word. To outsiders, it would have meant nothing. But to those who understand, it was acknowledgement, gratitude, trust. Why Mr. Lee never smiles for the camera. Fans have often commented that Mr. Lee rarely smiles in public appearances. Some interpret it as strict professionalism. Others see emotional distance. The truth may be simpler and heavier. When asked privately why he avoids drawing attention, Mr. Lee once responded, "If they are seen, I've done my job. If I am seen, something has already gone wrong." That philosophy defines everything he does. Even after reaching their destination safely, Even after the doors closed and the cameras disappeared, Mr. Lee remained vigilant. Because security does not end at arrival. It ends when danger no longer exists, and for global icons like BTS, danger never fully disappears. What sets Mr. Lee apart is not that he stands in front, but that he carries the responsibility behind. Behind every decision, behind every risk calculation, behind every calm smile Jikook show the world. Leadership, in his case, is invisible. And perhaps that is why his story resonates so deeply. Because in an industry obsessed with visibility, Mr. Lee represents the power of unseen dedication. Now, as fans replay footage frame by frame, as theories continue to circulate, one question grows louder. If this journey required such extraordinary measures, if it was labeled internally as one of the most sensitive operations, if Mr. Lee never once relaxed his stance from Incheon to Lisbon, what was he truly protecting Jikook from? And more importantly, was this journey the exception, or is this the new reality of their lives? Because if this is what it takes just to move safely through the world, then perhaps the greatest story is not about fame at all, but about the silent guardians who stand between idols and chaos, asking for nothing in return. And that leaves fans with one final unsettling thought. If Mr. Lee ever steps away, who will stand in that shadow next?